What is up, everybody out there in HeroClix land? This once again is Scott Porter back for a brand new unboxing series for WizKids and their HeroClix line of incredible tabletop superhero goodness. This set is Fantastic Four and the Future Foundation. Just 6 months ago, we had Fantastic Four blaze back onto the scene to make their first appearance in HeroClix in a decade. 2011 was the last time that we really saw a Fantastic Four base set. 2012 was really the last time we saw any Fantastic Four pieces at all, with Galactic Guardians and a little bit of Ben Grimm and Reed Richards in that set. And the Fantastic Four set was incredible. It was grandiose. It followed the entire history of the Fantastic Four. You had the old Frightful Four. You had characters from the newest run and Dan Slott's newest run of Fantastic Four, and everything in between. You know, Mark Waid and Jonathan Hickman, even a little bit of Matt Fraction thrown in for good measure. James Robinson in the red suits. But it was very Fantastic Four based. And during Hickman's run, which a lot of the last set focused on, a new book spun out of it called Future Foundation, which dealt with a lot of the youngest geniuses in the world, and Reed hoping to not just affect the now, but affect the future by cultivating a young think tank of individuals from all over this galaxy who could help solve the problems of tomorrow, basically, and that is the Future Foundation. We didn't see any of the actual Future Foundation in that set, and I love the fact that we are getting Fantastic Four goodness so soon. You see, Fantastic Four was the first family, and having not been in HeroClix for 10 years, I think they deserve 2 sets in 1 calendar year. I am super excited about this one, and I'm so excited to share it with you all. The set is supposed to come out on February the 17th, but of course we are living in a very unique and challenging time, so that date could change. That being said, I hope to bring you some amazing spoilers today and throughout the course of this week in this unboxing series. Not only will I be unboxing this particular brick of 10 boosters, I will also be unboxing the Fast Forces set. I will also be unboxing the Dice and Tokens set, and I will be opening up the Play at Home kit, which is something new that HeroClix has been doing over the last couple of sets. Since most of us have to be safer at home and play at home, they wanted to share things that you would normally get from the venue to you directly to the consumer. So we also look at the Play at Home kit that is coming out with this set. So without any further ado, I am excited to see what this set is all about. Really, Future Foundation, coming in Hickman's run of the Fantastic Four, was such a cool extension of the ideals of the Fantastic Four itself. And Hickman's run did not end with its big climactic battle with Franklin having Galactus as his own herald, fighting the Mad Celestials and saving the Earth once again. No, it ended about 16 issues later of both books. And there was this wonderful epilogue where they kind of reset a ton of the Marvel Universe. In those issues, Black Panther became King of the Dead. In those issues, the Inhumans were broken free of their ages-long fate that was foretold, you know, their old destiny. The Kree Empire was completely reset. I mean, huge, huge changes galactically in the Marvel Universe. Annihilus was elected president of the Negative Zone in their first free election, taking his rightful throne back from Johnny Storm, who had taken it from him throughout Hickman's run. I mean, there was a lot of things that happened, and it was so cool to see. And I hope that this set is an extension in the same way of the Fantastic Four HeroClix set that we got, as Hickman's epilogue, I will call it, was kind of just a beautiful addition and closeout of his Fantastic Four run. So we'll start out with the Fast Forces set. And, you know, the Fast Forces sets lately have been just chock full of incredible dials. Of course, the sculpts are always going to be great, but the dials are really cool as well. Before we get into it, you know what? I never said hi to anybody who has never played HeroClix before, who's watching something like this for the first time. If you're not familiar with my unboxings, we open up all of these packs. We take a look at these really cool sculpts of superheroes on these miniatures here. and we just kind of see how they tie in thematically every set, and we read their dials, we share our love for these characters, and it'll be over the course of 5 days. So there will be a video every day this entire week. I'm so glad you guys are here. I hope you enjoy. If you've never played HeroClix before, I hope this video makes you want to play. And if you're a HeroClix player who's never really read the comics that these figures are based on, I hope I spark something in you to want to go pick up some books and take a little read of where these guys came from. Okay, looking at these figures, see, we've got Thing, we've got Spidey, we've got Human Torch, Invisible Woman, we've got Reed Richards himself, Mr. Fantastic, and we've got Dr. Doom. Now, at this point in time, all of these characters were working together. And you can see their Future Foundation suits, but you see the reverse of the, oops, sorry guys. You see that they're the reverse of the typical white and silver Future Foundation. I believe that they had like a stealth suit option that they used a couple of times in the books. The sculpts look awesome. I want to see if the stealth stuff comes into play since they decided to use these suits, or if they just wanted a differentiator from some of the figures in the last set. The paint jobs look awesome. But if anybody's confused out there why Dr. Doom is in this, it's not because he's a villain. It's because at this point, he was an ally to the Fantastic Four. At the behest of Valeria, she went to her father. Valeria, obviously, one of the founding members of the Future Foundation, went to her father and said, if we are going to win this particular battle that they were in during Jonathan Hickman's run, we're going to need Uncle Doom. And Nathaniel Richards, Reed Richards' father, also agreed. So that's why Doom is here, and it's very, very cool. Let's start with Mr. Fantastic here. Take a look at him and take a look at his card. See, Mr. Fantastic. Fast Force is number 1. Fantastic Four, Illuminati, and Scientist keywords. He is 50 points. He has a trait, prevent you from hurting anyone else. When an opposing character would move adjacent to Mr. Fantastic, roll a d6. On a roll of 4, choose 1. That character immediately ends their action, or, after resolutions, deal that character 1 penetrating damage. Woo! He has another trait, Arm Lasso, that gives him plasticity. Giant reach of 3. Look at that. Boom. All right. Nice little dial. 6 clicks long for 50 points. Very good, very good. You know, the last set had some shorter dials, had some wonderful powers, of course, but 6 clicks for 50 points is already a good start for Mr. Fantastic. Of course, we have to go to the amazing Invisible Woman next, Sue Richards, the real heart and soul, the real glue that holds the entire thing together. Fantastic Four and Spy. She's set number 2, comes in also at 50 points. Has a trait, didn't see that wall. When an opposing character would move adjacent to an Invisible Woman, roll a d6. On a roll of 4, choose 1. That character immediately ends their action, or after resolutions, deal that character 1 penetrating damage. Ooh, so are they all having this shared kind of similar trait here, that if you try to move adjacent to them, you're going to hurt? That is fun. You either have to stop at distance. I mean, I guess they could do that with Johnny Storm as well, you know, flame on. They could also do it with Ben for sure. Like, nobody wants to get close to the thing. Speaking of Ben Grimm, let's take a look at him here. He's got Fantastic Four and Brute, set number 3. Comes in at 50 points also. Interesting. A 50-point Ben Grimm. Okay, let's see what he's got. Come here, let me give you a hug. When an opposing character would move adjacent to the thing, roll a d6, choose 1. That character immediately ends their action, or after resolutions, deal that character 1 penetrating damage. He also has its clobbering time, which is, what is collaborating? It's clobbering time. Why am I saying clobbering so weird? It's ridiculous. Take a look at the back of his dial. Man, that's a 50-point dial? Woo! 11 attack, 11 movement with charge, 18 defense. And I know he doesn't have any impervious there, but still, that's a pretty solid dial for 50 points. I'm loving the fact that if you try and charge in on this team, if you roll a 4, you're stopping or you're taking a click, and you're not going to be able to either complete your action or, I mean, that's whatever. If you do it with hypersonic speed, you have to move adjacent to them throughout that movement. They can stop you in your tracks. That's pretty cool. Human Torch, I'm guessing, has the same thing. It's just titled something different. You know I'm hot, 2,800 degrees to be exact. the same thing. If somebody wants to move adjacent, roll a 4. The character ends their action or deal that character 1 penetrating damage. And I love this, spontaneous combustion, poison. You know, throughout the runs, especially since Hickman, Johnny Storm has been losing control of his powers more and more. And even before that, if you got close to him and he was generating that much heat, you're going to get burned. Another solid 50-point dial there. Spider-Man. You know what I love about Spider-Man, and a lot of people forget this, is that in Spider-Man's first issue, he actually went to the Fantastic Four and asked them if he could join the team. They turned him down. They said no. But if you look at Amazing Spider-Man #1, I believe that the Fantastic Four are on the cover. It's pretty cool. And Spider-Man joined the Fantastic Four after the death of Johnny Storm at his behest. Let's look at his card. He's got Fantastic Four, Spider-Man family, scientist keywords. He's set #5, comes in at 50 points as well. Has a trait, webbed feet. When an opposing character would move adjacent to Spider-Man, roll a d6 on a 4. They either immediately end their action or take a click of penetrating damage. He has web shooters, which is traited incapacitate. Great. Some hypersonic speed there. Woo! Hypersonic speed, going to be a rare commodity going forward, and this guy has it. He also has probability control. This, to me, is an amazing Spider-Man dial. He's got charge. He doesn't have any super strength, but he's dealing 3 damage. He's got super senses with that 18. For 50 points to get a Spider-Man this good, I will pay that gladly. With that hypersonic speed, this is great. Precision strike on there, a little bit of sidestep and a little bit of stealth at the end. Pretty solid. And you know what I didn't notice as I lay all these cards back out? They all do get stealth on their last click. So they did work the stealth suit portion into it. They've all got a last click that has stealth on it. Oh, no, actually, I am sorry, that is not stealth. They've got regeneration on their last click, which is pretty cool, actually. So I was thinking maybe they would work stealth into this somehow. Doesn't look like they did. There's no stealth on it. I apologize. I'm rolling that back, but they get regen on that last click and a nice little bump up to 18. You've got some support there with Human Torch. So anyway, good stuff, man. Good stuff. Good stuff. That is Nova Blast on Human Torch. Wow, my brain today is not working quite right. Anyway, good dials all the way around as I sit here and make mistake after mistake. Let's look at Dr. Doom. Let's look at Dr. Doom. Again, this white and kind of navy, this Fantastic Four colors of this costume that he's wearing, very specific to this run when he had joined up with the Fantastic Four to help Reed Richards solve his problems that he had kind of caused in the first place. You've got Dr. Doom, Fantastic Four, Latveria, Mystical Ruler, and Scientist. Fantastic Forces, set #6. He comes in at 100 or 50 points. He's got a trait, once again, I prove my superiority. It's the same shared trait that everybody else has. He doesn't have any other things traded, but he's got an 8-click long dial. And there you go. He's got some support there at the end. Pretty cool. Very excited about this set from what I'm seeing so far. This Fast Forces set, he's got an 8 range. He's got 2 targets. That's insane. Running shot, Psychic Blast, 4 natural damage to bookend his dial. That's a pretty solid dial for a Dr. Doom. I'm sure we're going to get a lot more Dr. Dooms in this particular set, but I'm going to put him over here with the good guys because that's where he was throughout this whole thing. And I just wanted to take a look at their back of their cards one more time because I was all over the place saying some incorrect things. I love the 18, the bump up to 18 on all the actual Fantastic Four characters on that last click to give them a little chance, a little last hurrah, a little bit of willpower at the end there to try and, keep themselves around, maybe re-roll, get some clicks back there. All of their last clicks are pretty great. A lot of escapability for them. You know, you've got some sidestep almost for everybody except Ben, of course, who just keeps punching as he has flurry and an 11 attack with 3 damage on the last click there. Sorry about misspeaking, guys. Sometimes my brain, especially on these unboxing days. that's a great introduction to the Fantastic Four Future Foundation set. That's a wonderful set of building blocks to take us into what else we will be seeing. Now, in Fantastic Four 6 months ago, we got multiple iterations of these characters, though. So I'm more excited to see what is coming, see who we have that has been unclicked previously, and we'll get there as soon as we finish up with all the extra goodies today. Normally, we're just opening 2 boosters, but since it's the first day, again, the Dyson tokens, the Fast Forces pack, the Play at Home kit as well, we're getting a lot of extra goodies here. So let's take a look at the tokens real quick. You always get a little hint of what you're going to see in the set with the tokens because some figures have their bystanders on their cards, but also are made into tokens that we can actually use on the board. So let's see. We've got, of course, Dr. Doom and the Thing, all the characters that we just opened. Wait a minute. Is that Herbie? What? Now, normally with the tokens, if you see a character, just a piece of key art on the top of the tokens here, you're going to get that character in the set. But if you'll notice, no Human Torch here, but there is a Herbie. Does that mean that we are going to get an actual Herbie character, like with a base and everything, not just being a bystander token? Please tell me that is going to happen. That would be awesome. You know, I talked earlier about recommended reading for this set to get into it. Jonathan Hickman wrote an incredible run on Fantastic Four. Future Foundation came out of that and was continued on by Matt Fraction afterwards with a whole different group of the Fantastic Four, but the kids were kind of staying the same. But if you have little ones and you want to introduce them to the Fantastic Four, Franklin Richards, Son of a Genius, was a children's targeted comic book written by Chris Eliopoulos, and it is so good. It is so fun. Katie Power is in it. Of course, Franklin Richards, his best friend is Herbie, and it's kind of like a Calvin and Hobbes, but just with Franklin Richards and Herbie instead of Calvin and Hobbes. It's a fantastic read for old fans of Calvin and Hobbes or old comic style, serials. You would really, really enjoy this. The Fantastic Four are really background characters. It's about all the trouble that Franklin gets into on his own. Really not even using his powers, just being like a little menace around the house. And it's pretty cool. And that's really where I fell in love with Herbie. Anyway, so I hope we have a Herbie on a base in this particular set. Okay, let's see what's on the other side here. Ooh, wait a minute. Igor. Oh, Miklo. Oh, man. We're going to get Red Ghost and Piotr. So we got the apes from the Red Ghost. This is awesome. Back in Clobberin' Time, I think it was, we had these apes on a Rookie Experience Veteran Dial base, and that is awesome that we have those 3. That means we're getting Red Ghost in this set, I would suppose. Okay, let's see what else we have. We have a Latverian Peasant. We have a couple of them. Okay, I don't know who's going to be spawning Latverian Peasants, but somebody will be. And last but not least, one of my favorite characters, Turg. Oh, that's awesome. The Moloids are definitely going to be in this set, and I'm guessing Core, of course, will be there with Turg. This is awesome. Turg, if you've never read the books, the High Evolutionary made this evolution engine and built it underground. And Mole Man comes to the Fantastic Four and says, hey, I need your help because all of my Moloids are leaving me. They are going and they are becoming evolved, highly intelligent beings. They are building a city around this evolution engine, and they don't want to be a part of my crew anymore. But I think the High Evolutionary has like very dastardly plans for my Moloids. And man, they go down there, they free these Moloids to become these free thinkers, and you find out something very sad is that the Mole Men, when they would have young, they sometimes, if they weren't fit, they would just throw them in a hole, and Ben Grimm comes and saves them. They treat these 4 kids, these 4 Moloids that you'll find that hopefully we'll have in the set today, they love Ben Grimm like the aliens from Toy Story love the Claw. They talk about the Ben all the time. The Ben is like their favorite guy. And Torg is he's just a head now. That's all he is, and he gets carried around by one of the other Moloids. That's awesome. So we'll take a look at the dice real quick. Let's see the Future Foundation insignia there. Not like the Fantastic Four dice. I know I messed that one up. The 4 was actually the Fantastic Four insignia, but this one, I believe, is the 6. Yeah, if you see there's no 6 anywhere else. So even though, I guess you could have called that a 3, that is the 6 on the dice. So the dice look great. We'll get into the Play at Home kit in just a minute, but let's get started on the big brick. Whoa. Wow, that's interesting. There's something on top of this brick. And if you haven't heard, this is, let's take a look at it here, a legacy card from 2002 to 2020. It came on the top of the booster, and I'm going to open it and see what we got inside here on day 1. Oh, woo! It's pretty. It's very pretty. It is a foil card that is going to be very difficult for you all to read. But the really cool thing about these legacy cards is if you see on the back, Marvel HeroClix Galactic Guardians 2012. So what this is doing is updating an old sculpt that you might have sitting around. It's updating it for you so that you can play it modern. That guy right there. Kind of the last time we saw the Thing before the Fantastic Four set came back out, outside of Angrier, of course, and all like the different alternate versions of him. But this is so cool. So what WizKids has done here has decided, hey, all of our fans of the game have all their older sculpts, and not all of them are current. We want to go ahead and pull some of those forward. I believe that there are going to be 8 figures they're going to be pulling forward this set. And I will share with you in just a minute some old figures you might want to go get your hands on if you are interested in these legacy cards. They're going to be 1 per brick. If you buy the brick, that legacy card is yours. If the stores are opening cases and selling boosters individually, I'm sure it's going to be up to each of your local brick and mortar stores how they want to distribute these. But this is so cool. Let's take a look here. Man, Marvel's First Family. Unique modifier. I'm going to just not put it down because it's very hard to read. When the Thing heals from the Fantastic Four team ability, after resolutions, remove action tokens. Remove an action token and modify Thing's combat values by +1 until the end of your next turn. It doesn't say accept damage. It says modify all of your damage values. He has a damage special power. Had enough clobbering yet? Sidestep. Close combat expert. When an opposing character takes damage from Thing's close attacks, after resolutions, choose 1. Deal that character 1 unavoidable damage, woo, or make a close attack targeting that character, and that can activate on each hit. Whoo, wait a minute. So if he attacks you and he hits, after resolutions, you can either deal that character an unavoidable click of damage, or make another close attack targeting that character, and that can activate on each hit. That is insane. And this, like I said, is a legacy card. Take a look at the dial. The dial is going to be the same. If you have the old sculpt, if you kept your old Galactic Guardians figures, go get him out, and you can play with him using the new trait, the new special power, and think about that close attack registering on each close attack. I mean, 4 damage, 4 damage, 4 damage. I mean, that is pretty insane. 140 points. He is pretty beastly. He originally was 140 points. You can see there on this dial, this is the old Galactic Guardians sculpt. That is very, very cool. So a pretty neat thing. Now, I'm going to tell you guys right off the bat, some of the characters that I know you should go and search for are the following. The Morgan Le Fay, super rare from Chaos War. Human Torch, an Invisible Woman from the Captain America set. You've got Zavin and Morg and Mr. Fantastic from the Galactic Guardians set. And one other piece that you should also look out for is the She-Hulk from the Age of Ultron organized play set. This is a brand new thing for HeroClix. I'm so excited to share that with you guys today. I know you've probably read about it or seen news about it. I am coming into this fresh, but yeah, what a cool updated power. And knowing that they brought Morg forward makes me really excited too, because in the Fantastic Four set, we got some Heralds. And we didn't get a ton of them. We didn't get all of them, but I was hoping that they would continue that on. And I'm hoping now, even more so, that Future Foundation has a little sub-theme of the Heralds of Galactus. Okay, we have done, so far, the Fast Forces. We've done the Dyson tokens. We've done the Legacy card, which is brand new to the game. That foil is so cool looking as well. And now we are finally to the brick itself. It is Christmas morning, everybody. If you want to press pause, get yourself some popcorn, get yourself a drink. I've got possibly the greatest Mountain Dew ever, White Out, in this cup right here. White Out is incredible. Fight me. Fight me. I'm ready to go, man. I'm ready to crack this baby open and see what we got in this set. Now, I'm already knowing, and what I'm hoping for is, of course, all of the kids. You know, I want all of the kids and all of the instructors. I want Dragon Man. I want Bentley 23. I want all of the Moloids. I want all of the Ahura. I want Franklin and Valeria, of course. You know, we even had Medusa's son as a part of Future Foundation. Alex Power. And eventually in the future runs of Future Foundation, we had Julie Power. So I'm hoping that we have all of those kids in this. I'm really, really excited. I don't know what their dials are going to be like. I don't know what we're going to be dealing with as far as like how powerful they can be, because really, honestly, they're told to stay back a lot. There are some incredible scenes, like when the Future Foundation defeats the Red Ghost outside of Uatu's home on the moon, which is a lot of fun. But for the most part, they are not in battle. So I'm excited to see what they did with that. Excited to see what kind of mechanics they might have and what kind of skills they might have, because they're really a think tank. They really solve a lot of problems. They don't necessarily battle so much, except for Bentley 23, who builds like doomsday weapons like nobody's business. Anyway, let's take a look on the outside of the booster here. Here, let's take a look here. We've got Future Foundation, of course. You got all the characters on the front. Oh, featuring brand new equipment objects. What are we looking at there? Is that Silver Surfer's surfboard as an object in the game? What? And this is interesting here. We've got Spider-Man, the figure, but then we've got key art from Future Foundation on the background. Below here, oh, this is great. Good, we're going to get Matt Fraction's Future Foundation run. This is Darla Deering. She was Miss Thing. But you see the key art in the background is actually a comic book panel with She-Hulk and Scott Lang and Medusa. On the other side, of course, continuation of the Future Foundation. You got Mr. Fantastic there, but in the background, you can see Invisible Woman. You can see Turg and Franklin. Dr. Doom hiding here in the back, which we've already established. This is really cool. We've got Wizard, Diablo, the High Evolutionary, Mad Thinker. They were the Council of Doom. They joined Doom when he was trying to... Okay, this gets really confusing. I'll tell you in just a second. Let's look at the rest of this, and then I'll explain this to you. We got Awesome Andy there, which is really cool. And we've got an AIM agent back in the back. So they might be pulling from some really cool storylines. A lot of stuff revolved around the Wizard. So I'm excited to see him on the outside of the box. The Wizard created clones of himself. One of them was Bentley 23. He got rid of all of these young clones. He was trying to clone himself and then have that clone be a son to him, kind of. But the Wizard started to lose his mind a little bit over the course of the last decade of the Fantastic Four. But I mentioned the four of those: Mad Thinker, Diablo, High Evolutionary, and the Wizard all getting together to be on the Council of Doom. That's because in Hickman's run, the reason they brought Doom on was because Reed Richards was fighting himself, basically. There was a whole council of reeds that had found this little bridge, basically, to all universes, and they were trying to solve the problem of everything. And all of these reeds had left their families behind, gone a little insane, started tinkering with universes whether they were asked to or not, and they asked our 616 Reed Richards to join them. He chose not to, and that created a huge rift, and one thing led to another, and they needed to figure out how to kill a couple of Reed Richards from that council of Reeds who had come onto the 616 Earth and had been wreaking havoc. But Reed couldn't figure out how to do it all his own, so they brought Doom in, and Doom brought a team of Reed's greatest villains in to try and decide or create a plan on how to take them down, and that was the Council of Doom. Not to be confused with the Council of Dooms that we see on the back of the booster here. These guys are the Council of Dooms. See, a bunch of alternate universe Dooms that all got together to force, in Matt Fraction's run, Doom to become Doom the Annihilating Conqueror, which was a combination of Doom, Kang the Conqueror, and Annihilus himself. Very powerful version of Doom. But also here on the back, we see what I believe is going to be a chase. And the fact that we see the Council of Dooms, and this is from the Chuck Dixon 3-issue limited series, Doom. It's set in Doom World, which is a portion of, what do they call it? Not Other Earth, but basically the Counter Earth. Counter Earth, which Franklin Richards created during Heroes Reborn after Onslaught happened in the Marvel Universe. I know this is deep dive. Some of you guys might not know what's going on. Onslaught, big villain, combination of the psyches of Magneto and Charles Xavier, villain, wiped out all of existence basically, and Franklin Richards at the end of that story kicked off kind of an age of Marvel called Heroes Reborn. He created something called Counter Earth, and this Doom on the back, I believe, is the Doom. I think it was the prisoner. He was like a prisoner in Doom World, and it's a 3-issue limited series. It's very late 90s. I should warn you, but it's very cool nonetheless. I think that's going to be a chase, and I think that is telling us that we're going to have a bunch of different Dooms as our chase figures in this set. We hope that we get one, but who knows? Okay, so what are we hoping for in this set? I'm hoping for a bunch of the kids from the Future Foundation. I would love to see the Heralds of Galactus filled out a little bit. There were some villains that were definitely missing from the Fantastic Four set that I want to see in this set. I'm talking High Evolutionary. I'm talking Mad Thinker. Wizard was there for sure, but he was part of the Frightful Four and not the more modern incarnation. Since they showed us an AIM agent there, there was a really cool story about AIM becoming its own sovereign nation on the island of Barbuda. There's some villains that came out of that that could be very interesting as well, so maybe some generic opportunities there. Just looking on the outside of the box, I'm super excited that we're going to get Matt Fraction's FF. I hope that we get some more modern versions of the of the Future Foundation as well, which included Julie Power, which included Ricky Barnes from Counter Earth, who is actually a very cool Captain America that Franklin Richards created back in the day, the granddaughter of Bucky Barnes on Counter Earth, and she showed up in the latest rendition of Future Foundation. So those are characters I'm hoping for. I'm sure you guys are hoping for a bunch as well. Let's start where I always start, back right side of the brick with these two boosters. Hoping for a super rare or a prime or something, but really, I just want to see what we got in this set. I'm very, very excited. All right, let's see. First, booster. Ooh, okay. I'm getting some of the things I wanted already. We've got Mad Thinker here. Boom, to start. And you can see he's in this white costume. It's in keeping with the Future Foundation. We've got Valeria, who I was really, we got a version of in the last set, but was really the adult future version of her. This is great to get the young 3-year-old. Yeah, she's 3 in Future Foundation. Oh, we got Korg. Yes, and look, he's carrying Turg. This is so good. Yes, we got Pybok there. Pybok the Power Scroll, everybody. Not to be confused with Kl'rt the Super Scroll. No, Pybok is the Power Scroll. Let's keep our scrolls named properly. And then we've got Miss Thing here, not to be confused with She-Thing, who we got a lot of in the Fantastic Four set. I'm glad we're getting Darla Deering here, though. So cool. Okay, let's see who we want to start with. I'm going to pull them all back. So we got one of the villains I was hoping for with Mad Thinker, and I think that we will begin with him. Okay, Mad Thinker, let's take a look at his card. He is set number 13A. Ooh, okay, so Mad Thinker is going to have a prime. That is so cool. It gives us a little clue. Maybe, I don't know, maybe all the primes are versions of the Council of Doom? I don't know. Let's see. Fantastic Four, robot, scientist, comes in at either 40 points or 20 points. Very short dial. Fantastic Four, robot, and scientist. That's so cool to have a Mad Thinker with the Fantastic Four keyword. That's awesome. Has a trait, the Council of Doom's engineering expert. Sideline active, unique modifier. Oh, what is this? Ally. It says ally next to 13A. Huh. Okay. Sideline active, unique modifier. Friendly captains and sidekicks modify attack by +1 when attacking 1+ characters with the robot keyword. Okay, lot to wrap our head around. Another trait, unrivaled roboticist to the underworld, perplex, but only to target characters with the robot keyword. Has the Minions of Doom team ability, which is rad. And then the back here, we've got some stealth, we've got willpower, which is going to be important going forward. We've got some outwit on the entirety of the dial, plus that traded perplex, only for 40 or 20 points. 40 points gets you a 6-click dial. That is pretty impressive, but I want to go back to this side here and talk about this ally, sideline active, helps captains and sidekicks modify attacks by +1 when attacking 1+ characters with the robot keyword. It seems like we have some new elements coming into play here. And you know what? I'm going to put Mad Thinker on the good guy side because he's got Fantastic Four keywords. So we'll see what else is going on with that. And keep in mind, 13A, that means we're going to have a prime of Mad Thinker. Pretty cool. Okay, we got to get into Core. Okay, here is Core. And wow, okay, Fantastic Four and Monster keywords. He is a sidekick. What? Sidekick. Set number 38 comes in at 25 points. Our other brother, or what's left of him at least, Core starts the game with a Turg token. Remove a Turg token to generate a Turg bystander. Okay, that's awesome. So you can generate this little guy right here. He has a trait, I'm back. Free. If Turg wasn't generated this turn and is adjacent to Core, remove him from the map and give Core a Turg token. So you can swap him on and off the board. Pretty cool. Heads up. Get it? Hypersonic speed. What? When Turg uses it, he can ignore characters and after resolutions deal 1 damage to an opposing character he moved through during the action. Whoa! 9 movement with hypersonic speed causing damage. Can ignore figure bases. That is pretty cool. Core himself has stealth and has willpower. Awesome. Yeah, that is rad. The Moloids have become some of my favorite characters in Future Foundation. The way that they speak to each other, they have such a banter, and when a writer really is nailing it, the speed, they're like an old school movie when everybody just spoke so fast and the jokes were faster is funnier. Faster is funny. And they just are on top of each other all the time, talking back and forth. They love Ben. When Ben Grimm goes away and She-Hulk steps in, they love Jen. And they start talking about the Jen. And then they get very jealous of Wyatt Wingfoot, who goes on a date with She-Hulk. And they go out to ruin her date. They are mad that Wyatt is throwing the woo at the Jen. And they go to try and stop it. And it's one of the best little single issues in the Future Foundation. It's really wonderful. I love the Moloids. The fact that we're getting them all is pretty awesome. Okay, talking about Fractions Run on Future Foundation, we have Darla Deering, Miss Thing, and that is right. She's wearing a Thing suit. This is one of the old inventions of Reed. They are Thing androids, basically, and she goes inside of one. And Fantastic Four, armor keywords, set number 22 comes in at 75 points. The Fantastic Four for 4 minutes. Once per turn, you may re-roll on an attack roll that has a 4 in it. They have the Fantastic Four team ability. You look at the back here. Whoa! Holy, get out of here. 9 clicks long for 75 points. 3 clicks of Impervious at the top. Flurry, 10 attack, 11 attack, 3 damage for the Flurry clicks. Then Charge and Super Strength with 11 in the middle of the dial. Wow. That is a pretty impressive dial for Darla Deering. If you don't know who she is, she's someone who dated Human Torch for a little while. And it's pretty funny. You see the Fantastic Four for 4 minutes. What happened was the Fantastic Four started to deteriorate. They went back in time. Reed got bit by a dinosaur and his arm got shredded and it wouldn't heal. And he wasn't sure what was happening. He didn't know how he could get that injured. And when he looked at himself on a molecular level, on a cellular level, he saw that he basically had this uncurable cancer kind of deteriorating his molecules and pulling him apart, weakening his powers and weakening him overall. So Reed Richards decides that he's going to take his entire family on a trip under the guise of educational learning and a family trip through the multiverse or through the universe as a learning exercise for Franklin and Valeria. And so Franklin, Valeria, and the Fantastic Four go out and explore. But really, Reed does it because he knows that if it's happening to him, it's going to start to happen to Sue and Johnny and Ben. And he does not have a cure for it. He cannot find a cure for it. He calls Scott Lang in to even go look at him on a subatomic level to see if he could figure out a way to cure him. Scott has no answers, so he asks Scott to take his place in the Fantastic Four because Future Foundation has to stay behind. And each of the Fantastic Four asks somebody. Ben Grimm asks She-Hulk. Sue Storm asks Medusa because Medusa is a mother and would understand how to care for these kids. Human Torch forgets. And waking up the morning after a date night with Darla Deering's like, oh yeah, I gotta ask you about the Thing. Would you want to be a part of the Fantastic Four? And the whole pitch to them is, Reed and the Fantastic Four will be gone for a year in their time, but only 4 minutes in Scott Lang's time. So that is where that trait comes from. They basically all stand up on a roof. The Fantastic Four leave, and 4 minutes later, they're supposed to come back, and they don't. They do not come back. And now this Fantastic Four, this dysfunctional Fantastic Four and the Future Foundation have to exist without Reed and Sue and Johnny and Ben and Valeria and Franklin and have to figure things out. And, it all culminates in this big battle with Doom. It's pretty good stuff, man. I actually really enjoyed the Fraction run. He was writing both books for a while, and then towards the very end had to leave and write something else. But his vision was seen through, and it's a cool little run. And what's great about it is I think they're both like 16 issues. You got like 32 issues all in for the whole story, so it's worth picking up and checking out. All right, moving on. Let's go with Valeria. She has a sidekick. You'll see here, sidekick. We'll find more about this as we go on. Valeria, Fantastic Four scientist, set number 14. She comes in at only 20 points. Better safe than sorry. Who lives like that? She has no traits. Which is very interesting because I would think that Valeria, maybe this is a more simple version of her, but I would think that Valeria would do more than just a little bit of energy shield deflection and some perplex here. But I gotta say, the paint jobs are so precise. The face work here is so awesome. I know she's just standing still. It's a little girl, but the fact that the sculpt is this small and the detail is that clean, I got to tell you guys, wait till you can see it up close because I can't zoom in anymore on this. But her everything is just perfectly placed. That 6 on her chest, there's no smudging, there's no anything. I mean, the detail on these figures is pretty intense. And I'm going to show you She-Thing again just to kind of emphasize that point. You can see that 4 on her belt. You see the brightness of the color in the hair. You see the shading, the dark wash to get all those rocks to really pop. I mean, this sculpt work, I know they've been changing some things up, and we've been dealing with some different variants in size and stuff, but I got to tell you, the paint job and the sculpt work is first rate. And we're going to see that here on Paibok too. Like I said, Paibok, the Power Scroll, don't confuse him with Super Scroll. There are a lot of scrolls that just pick basic words to put in front of their name. I don't want anybody to get mixed up here. Okay, Paibok. Here we go. Paibok has Scrolls, Soldier, and Spy. Set number 33 comes in at 75 or 50 points. And again, there's no color bleed on this at all. Eyes are right on point. There's no googly eyes going on in this set. The paint jobs are pretty great. Has a trait, I shall have my revenge. Friendly characters with the scroll keyword modify attack by +1 when attacking only characters with the Fantastic Four keyword. Has a special attack power augmented with the powers of Earth's most gifted heroes. Free, choose one to use until your next turn. Energy Explosion, Incapacitate, Quake, or Super Strength has the Scroll Team ability. Look at the dial back here. Man, 8 clicks again. For 75 or 50 points to get 8 full clicks on a dial like this with pretty impressive stats, yeah. We are seeing some impressive length to dials. And what's kind of interesting is I wonder if what we're going to start seeing here is longer dials for, now that we have fully fleshed out characters. We're talking about allies and sidekicks and captains, I think is what the other word was. I wonder if the idea is going to kind of shift to be like, maybe you should be fielding a captain. They're going to have longer dials with some sidekicks or with some allies who might have middle of the road or shorter dials, and filling out your team like that could be very interesting. Could really shake up the way that we do team building in the world of HeroClix. All right, next booster, and then we'll take a look at the Play at Home kit, and we will be done for today. I know it's a longer video, guys. The rest of the videos this week will be much shorter, but I hope you are enjoying this as much as I am, because I'm having a blast getting to talk about what happened to the Fantastic Four in the books after Hickman or after Wade, because most people just go directly to those books, and then they forget about the tail end of Hickman's run and then everything else that happened in between. Secret Wars was huge, but then there's been some pretty cool Fantastic Four stories and a lot of really cool Future Foundation stuff. I love almost every run of Future Foundation, and I wish we had more of it. I hope we get more of it in the future. All right, let's see. Ooh, yes! Oh, this is so cool. Okay. Jim Hammond, the original Human Torch. We've got Leech, who is Franklin Richards' best friend in these books. His power dampening mutant power, it really helped keep Franklin in check for a long time, and the two of them became best friends and had some amazing adventures. We've got Owen Reese, Molecule Man. That is hyper important. He's going to be beastly. Here's She-Hulk in her FF costume, and then we've got Alex Power in his Future Foundation costume. He was kind of in between in the Future Foundation. He was a kid, but he was turning 18 throughout this run. He became an adult throughout the course of the Future Foundation. It was really like a big brother role for every single member of the Future Foundation. So that is pretty cool. You know what? I want to start with She-Hulk. Again, chosen by Ben Grimm to be his replacement when the Fantastic Four was gone. She-Hulk, Fantastic Four, Celebrity, Keywords, set number 6, 75 points. The Fantastic Four for 4 minutes is the same trait that we saw on Miss Thing. And that's all she has, except for, she's got a ton of powers, but look at that dial. 75 points, 9 clicks long. Less powers than you would normally see, but still 75 points for this is pretty economically sound in my mind. 11 movement, 11 attack, 18 defense with Impervious. She's got super strength and charge. She's got Indomitable, which I know is going away, but I'm going to wait till later in this series to even address any of that, because it kind of has all been breaking the week that I am opening this set, and I'm really not a rules forum guy. I'm really just more of what do we have in the set? What are the cool stories they are tied to? How can I get people who play the game more into books? And how can I get people who read comic books into this amazing game of HeroClix? So that's what I'm really trying to do here. But still, pretty hefty dial, 9 clicks long, Wonderful. Love it. Okay, Leech. Man, I got to say, some of the coolest little stories in Future Foundation come when Leech and Franklin go into the universe that Franklin has developed in his closet. And they go in there and they just play. They just go in there, and old Franklin Richards comes back in time to try and help young Franklin Richards develop his power, because it can really do some damage to him, and it really, when he uses it, when young Franklin uses his powers, can really do damage to him and can really damage the world because he doesn't quite know what he's doing yet. So future Franklin comes back and tries to help him learn how to do building blocks, and they put all these ideas in a hat, and they have certain rules that old Franklin says. He says, when we go into your universe, you create a pocket universe in your closet. No one else is allowed in there except for you and Leech. You go in. You write down any scenario with your imagination you want. And then you go into your universe that day and you create that story. Do you want to play balloon cowboys living in a spaghetti town? Then make yourselves balloon cowboys and you live in a town made of spaghetti. It's so fun, the stuff that they go in there and do. And Leech, when they go into this universe, no longer constricts Franklin's powers, but outside of it, helps Franklin keep himself in check. So it's such a cool relationship. It's such a really great friendship. And it was unexpected for me when they introduced Leech into the book. But man, also, this sculpt looks incredible. I got to tell you guys, when you see them in person, you're going to be blown away. Fantastic Four, Morlocks, X-Factor, X-Men keywords, Sidekick, 10 points. Set number 10, 20 points. Has no special powers, just has stealth and a power dampening field in the form of outwit. Look at the back of his card here, 4 clicks long, a lot of stealth, a lot of outwit, but that's it. So I wonder if maybe captains are going to improve these dials. If you play this character by itself without a captain, maybe that dial just is what it is. But 20 clicks for 4 clicks of stealth and outwit is not too shabby in the first place. Okay, let's look at Alex Power. Okay, Alex Power, he is in his Future Foundation costume, not in his Power Pack costume. Alex Power, Fantastic Four, and Power Pack keywords, set number 29, comes in at only 25 points. Has a trait, we swapped powers again, free. If you have 2+ characters with this trait and different names on your force, choose another of those characters. Until your next turn, Alex Power and the chosen character can't use their displayed powers and instead can use each other's displayed powers and range values and can't be chosen for or activate this effect. Okay, it doesn't say within line of fire. It doesn't say a range to do that. This is a really cool way to deliver a storyline that happened in Power Pack. He's 25 points, guys, and he's 5 clicks long. 5 clicks of telekinesis and force blast for 25 points. Yo, that is nasty. But what happened in the books was, I believe once upon a time, Alex Power took all of the powers of the Power Pack into himself. Something within their molecular structure, something within their power set allows them to do this. And it still even is happening today. The Future Foundation storyline in 2019, Julie, who can go at light speed, takes Alex's powers of gravity control to get them out of a sticky situation. So it's a really cool way, but imagine him being on the board with the hopefully the rest of the Power Pack. I'm going, holy crap, maybe we don't just get Julie because it said 2+ characters. So maybe we're going to see Jack and Katie too. That would be rad. We get the whole Power Pack in this set? Please, let's do it. But then they can swap powers anywhere on the board. That is pretty cool because that's a huge level of strategy. That's a really dope way to make the Power Pack very impactful. Okay, let's go with Jim Hammond next. Became a really cool character in modern times. Deals a lot with teaching, the initiative and then the Future Foundation as well. Jim Hammond, Fantastic Four, Invaders, Shield, Past, Robot, Soldier, Spy, Tinker, Tailor, all of the keywords. Also, set number 32 comes in at 75 or 35 points, has the Fantastic Four and Shield team abilities, has a trait, I promise to protect your children with my life. Friendly sidekicks can use Mastermind, but only to choose Jim Hammond regardless of adjacency. Okay, let's see if he's got damage reducers because that becomes, yep, look at that. Look at that. Regardless of adjacency, can have damage masterminded onto him. And with that front-loaded invulnerability, that's pretty awesome. 75 points for 7 clicks or 35 points for 4 clicks. He's got leadership as well. And look, he's a captain. So that is really cool. Friendly sidekicks can use Mastermind. So you put him on the board, you put a bunch of sidekicks on the board. And what's really cool about this thematically is that in James Robinson's run of Fantastic Four, which I said in the last video I wasn't like really a big fan of, I've changed my mind on it. It's actually a great reset. There was a lot of things that happened in that book, though, tearing the Fantastic Four apart. There was a bad guy called the Quiet Man, did a lot of work behind the scenes. Maybe we'll see him in this set then. To systematically tear the Fantastic Four apart. He did it because he fell in love with Sue Storm a long time ago, and Reed Richards got to her first, and they all went to the same college, and I think it's such a dumb reason for a villain to exist, but he existed nonetheless, and the way that he systematically tore the Fantastic Four apart was pretty brilliant. I don't want to spoil too much, but it's worth a read. But what he did to Sue was get the Fantastic Four, or get Sue and Reed, deemed unfit to be parents, and took her children from her for a year. They were put into SHIELD custody. They went to Camp Hammond, and Jim Hammond was the head of that all. And him and Maria Hill, kind of behind the scenes, did a lot of things to keep that group of kids together, to keep them safe. There was an order to completely shut down Dragon Man, kill him basically, and Jim Hammond understanding that if you shut down an android who is sentient to the level that Dragon Man is, that is akin to murder. And him and the Future Foundation go and stage a breakout of Dragon Man, which is pretty great. He's a really cool character in the book. It's one of the shining spots of Robinson's run. I suggest you go and read it if you've got some time. Again, that run is only 18 issues long. So pretty low commitment level to read some of these really cool Fantastic Four stories. Okay, speaking of cool Fantastic Four stories, Owen Reese, Molecule Man, who was at the very core, pun intended, of Secret Wars, as he was the anchor to which Battle World and everything under God Emperor Doom was built from. This is Battle World Other, Latveria, Cosmic, and Scientist keywords. Set number 44 comes in at 100 or 30 points. Molecular Manipulation is his trait. Smoke Cloud as free, roll a d6, and choose a number of non-debris terrain markers within range to the result. Replace those markers with any combination of hindering, water, or blocking terrain markers. At the beginning of your next turn, remove all markers placed this way. Wow. So every single turn you roll a d6, you look within range at non-terrain marker terrain, right? And he can just manipulate that and change it. So if you've got a building, if you've got a tree, if you've got an outdoor blocking terrain piece, you can choose to change that to water or whatever. He's basically changing the molecular structure of non-debris terrain markers on the map. That is pretty cool. It's not quite as uber powerful as I was hoping for, but the flavor text on his powers are great. Have a soda from the 80s. Owen Reese, the narrative man. New broom, same handle. Like, there's a lot of really great stuff here. But you could see him there in Secret Wars on the back there. 8 range, 3 targets, Psychic Blast, Sidestep, Outwit, Perplex. He's got it all. Wow. Okay, there we go. Those are our 2 boosters for today. I cannot believe I did not pull a Super Rare or a Prime. That is like the first time ever in these series that my system let me down. Anyway, I am already digging this set in a huge way. I'm a big fan of the Fantastic Four, and I know a lot of people out there feel the same. It was a void that needed to be filled for over a decade. So the fact that within 6 months' time we're getting 2 sets that are now really giving us an extension of the Fantastic Four and going even deeper into the first family's cadre of allies and villains, this is really great. I'm super stoked to see what is coming. The dials in this set are deep. They're pretty impressive. They're well costed. Now we've got this sidekick ally captain thing going on to get some real cool team synergy going on. I'm seeing a lot of major changes coming through this set into the game of HeroClix, and I can't wait to see what else we get. I gotta say thank you so much to you guys for buckling up and sticking around for this long video. We've got one little thing left to show you, and you know what? I'll show you tomorrow. That's the Play at Home kit, and I'll show you guys tomorrow. I don't want to take up any more of your time here on this wonderful Monday. I hope this is a beautiful start to your week. Thank you so much for spending some time with me. Thank you to WizKids for sending me this awesome set early that I can share with you guys. Thank you to Hyper RPG Studios, where we're currently shooting. Please go online, find them on Twitch, find them on YouTube. They've got everything your little heart would desire: pop culture, games, tabletop. They've got a show based off HeroClix called Indomitable in their archives on YouTube. It's a lot of fun to watch all their stuff. Go check them out. Remember, the set is supposed to come out February the 17th, but of course, due to COVID and due to the delays in shipping and how difficult it is to get things out, that may push. But I wanted to give you guys a heads up, and I wanted to give you enough time to call your local brick and mortar stores and please order through your comic shops, order through your gaming stores. Support them the way that they have supported us through our whole lives through this difficult time. Thank you guys and gals so much for tuning in. I'm Scott Porter signing off. I'll see you tomorrow, and until I do, may all your rolls be critical hits. Peace.